Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give you a few thoughts about recruiters. There's kind of this cold war going on between them and the job seeker. Job seekers think, man, they can make a lot of money off of me if they place me. And so I think job seekers treat recruiters, in a way that's like, hey, get me the job. And so when they don't hear back from recruiters, that kind of aggravates them, right? So recruiters kind of out of a bad reputation for not being very responsive, unless they think that you're the golden ticket and they can submit you to one of their companies that they think they'll be able to get their 20-25% commission from. Both of them kind of have this kind of unspoken animosity, and it can easily taint the way you act towards them. The point is, because everybody's kind of acting that way, you have an opportunity to stand out. Remember, they do have an opportunity potentially. It's amazing how much latitude that recruiter might have on certain opportunities, depending on the company, to convince the company that because you don't have this certification, whatever, no, I think you still, they'll go to bat for you if they like you. Okay, and that's the point. You need the recruiter to like you. When you find a job and you see that it's through a recruiter, you should be the one to call the recruiter because you want to be known to them. You want them to ask about your background and really get a sense of it. So in that call, you need to be like animated, right? Really enthusiastic and build rapport. Now, you need to try and find out more about them, okay? Look at the profile of that person on LinkedIn and that to see what things you might be able to connect on. The key is when you're talking to them, find out about your fit for the job, but then more importantly, what you want is to find out if you're a fit for the recruiting company themselves, not just that job. Because you don't want them to basically end of conversation if they go, oh, my company's looking for this certification, you don't have it, sorry. Okay, fine. But look at my background in general. I assume that because of this position, this is the kind of position you get. This is the kind of company, industry, and so forth that you guys fill positions for. So if that's true, this is my area. So what do you think? It's a no on this position, but do you have others? And or am I the kind of candidate that you probably would get another job for? And then potentially, I'm at the top of the list because I'm a known commodity to you. So most importantly is to find out your overall fit and whether you should even waste any time talking to that recruiter in the future. If you can find out right now, like, yeah, no, we'll never be able to do that. Okay, good to know. You don't want to waste time, right? So find out the bigger fit and also talk to them about that job. That job is the excuse for the call. But then beyond that, what I want you to do is I want you to think about this. I went in to see the doctor and I had to get a shot for my knee, okay? Really expensive stuff that they pump in there that apparently stimulates the natural lubricant in the knee so that it doesn't do what it was doing, okay, which is very uncomfortable. So I go in, I sit down, and I could overhear the staff outside the door talking about somebody who didn't come in. And there was you could feel kind of a negative buzz going on around the office. So having thought about that, when my doctor came in, and this is the second time I've ever seen this person, he was kind of writing some notes down, and I said, Dr. Thomas, how are you doing? Okay, so it wasn't like, hey, how are you? No, he's like, I said it in a way that was like, he knew I was actually asking. So he kind of looked up at me from the board and could tell like I genuinely, wanted to know. And so, well, not very good actually, if you want to know the truth, and kind of sets the pen down and 5-minute monologue about how someone didn't call in and, you go to school thinking you're going to be focused on medicine and all that. And then you spend, half of your time dealing with drama and politics and all that. And I just listened and smiled and like, oh yeah, I can imagine. And just let him vent. He leaves, he goes out, he comes back in, he has the syringe and the needle in this box, and he says, so Rhett, I have this solution here. Looks like it's expired. Would you be willing to accept some expired solution? And I'm like, I think I would. And so it was like, this is an $800 procedure. And what made him open the other door, right, to go, let me see if we have any of the stuff that the pharmaceutical people give you, for all that. He finds this. Do you think there's a correlation between me asking how he was doing sincerely and him making that extra step to get that and to think about getting it for me? Of course, right? There's no difference. A recruiter is a doctor. You're the patient. But that doesn't mean you have to stick in the confines of that relationship, right? You can care about them. They are a human being, right? Recruiters are humans too. If you're a brand and they're a potential seller for your product, which they are, hook them up, right? Be that guy that builds them up. Give them a compliment about their website. If they've been in business 18 years, say something like, man, you guys have been in business a long time. That's pretty impressive. The economy's been kind of crazy, right? That really says something if you can stay in business that long. And I noticed you're the principal. Boy, that's pretty impressive. I bet you've seen a lot of things technologically, especially over the years. Whatever it is that you can build rapport on, right? Whatever it is that you can make them feel better about their website, about the work that they do, maybe something about their reputation, whatever it is. Anything you can do to build them up, give them a sincere compliment, and then say something like, hey, I'm actually part of this organization, this human capital organization, a lot of contacts in there. So would it be helpful? Do you have any positions you're having difficulty filling? And if so, I'd be happy to pass this on to the group and see if there's anyone that we could refer over to you, if that would be of help, right? So that kind of thing goes a long way to kind of talk business with someone and see what could you do to help them. They're not used to having a job seeker kind of be like, what can I do for you, right? Because the whole paradigm is usually, hey, Skippy, when are you going to give me a job, right? They don't like that. So invert it. Don't stay within that construct right now that is kind of, like I said, a cold war between job seeker and recruiter. Be the one that they think of first, because you came in and talked to them in a way that wasn't transactional. It was meaningful. You do that with all the recruiters, anyone obviously, but in particular with recruiters, especially if you're feeling some negativity there or whatnot. Do it right. Treat them really, really well, even though technically you don't have to, right? But understand they're going to do a lot more for you if you talk to them that way and act that way, offer value in that way. You'll leave an indelible impression in the mind of that recruiter, and that can really go a long way.